Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. You know, we heard outrage on the floor when we proposed spending $129 million for pre-K for our children. And some argued that we didn't have data to know if pre-K works. The Hazlewood Act, which is a promise that we made to our veterans, was called unsustainable for its price tag. But when it comes to what has ballooned to $800 million in border security spending, this legislature prefers to bury its head in the sand and not ask for any metrics or reporting requirements from DPS. We are quick to waste tax dollars on politics, but not on sound policy. We don't know if we're safer as a result of the border security spending. Where are the cries for accountability? The cries for transparency? The legislature has decided to write a blank check without ensuring accountability. We have not defined a border security mission, and we have not established specific state metrics for that mission. And throughout this session, I've asked DPS for simple metrics on drug seizures and drug apprehensions. And after multiple requests from information from DPS on their agency's work on Operation Strong Safety, DPS has refused to provide individual performance measures for their agency. And instead, the agency reported numbers for all agencies, including the work done by the federal government through Customs and Border Protection and through local law enforcement, our sheriffs and our police departments on the border. Members, we are being intentionally misled. All of the current reporting we're seeing includes federal, Border Patrol, and local law enforcement. And yesterday we heard from the author of this border security bill say that Texas is going to step up to do what the federal government failed to do. Yet the vast majority of the numbers touted by DPS are federal and local. We are on the one hand saying that we need to spend $800 million because the feds aren't doing their job. While on the other hand, we're pointing at federal numbers as supposed proof that our investment is working. You can't have it both ways. Well, we do have to show, what exactly do we have to show for our money? Here's what we do know. The El Paso Times found out that after OSS, traffic tickets in the border region have gone up while decreasing in the rest of the state. The Austin American-Statesman reported that DPS contributed to less than 10% to the latest surge's drug interdiction efforts, with the rest of the drug seizures coming from Border Patrol and local law enforcement. And a Houston Chronicle analysis found that in the Rio Grande Valley, there's been a decrease in overall crime for years, even with increases in population, and the DPS surge in 2014 has had no measurable effect on crime. Members of the legislature in both chambers, myself included, have tried to add reporting requirements for the agencies that we're giving $800 million for border spending. All attempts for reporting on state-specific data have been rejected. Without metrics, how will we know if we're safer? But members, if the legislature refuses to acknowledge that we're throwing hundreds of millions of dollars without asking questions, then maybe all the members from the border should just stop asking questions too. Maybe we members on the border should instead thank the legislature for this massive check that the government stimulus program for border security.
I guess half.
Thank you, taxpayers, for funding political stimulus for the border. We like to say, you know, I'm a freshman and all I hear was, this isn't Washington, D.C. Well, this sure does sound like Washington, D.C., and it sure does smell like Washington, D.C.
Mr. Speaker, will the gentleman yield?